Let's discuss the quick mask option in this section. The quick mask mode is generally used to have a quick look of the selection before applying on the image. Generally, we can see the selection as a marching ants on the border of our selection that gives us an idea of the selected area. But when we have a feather in the selection, the marching ants on the border cannot display the actual selection. So we cannot be sure about the selected areas. Let's create a rectangular selection around the strawberry with a marquee tool with a feather of 100 pixels. Visually, you feel that it's a rounded rectangle selection. Now select the quick mask mode at the bottom side of the toolbox or press Q on the keyboard to have a quick look for our actual selection. This is quite different from the rounded rectangle and gives an actual idea of the selected area. Here the red area indicates the excluded area and transparent area indicates the selected area. So if we make the selection, this area will be excluded and only the blank area without red color will get selected. Pressing Q again will turn off the quick mask mode and again you can see the selection as marching ants. You can change the red color if it's not visible properly on the image. Just double click on the quick mask button. You can change the color of your choice that gives you an idea of excluded areas. Also, you can change the opacity of the color. Generally, the transparent area indicates the selected areas and colored areas indicates the excluded areas. But you can reverse that by selecting the colored areas as selected areas or masked areas means excluded areas. Keep it the same for now. You can edit the selection by painting on the blank area or erasing the colored area. Select a brush tool for now. Be sure that you have pure black color in the foreground color box and pure white color in the background color box. Now brush on the blank areas. You can fill the color to exclude it from the existing selection. On the top right side of the foreground color and background color box, you will find a small 2 arrows icon. Click on that. This will exchange the foreground and background colors. You can quickly exchange the colors by pressing X key on the keyboard. Now brush on the colored areas. This will remove the color and will include the area to the existing selection. The reason for taking pure black and pure white color in the foreground and background color box is to have 100% opacity or 0% opacity. Pure black color means 100% opacity and is used to mark the image areas to exclude from the existing selection. Pure white color means 0% opacity and used to mark the image areas to add to the existing selection. Here we are using the colors only for selection. If you try to select another color, it will be converted to shades of grays. The darker gray means more opacity and lighter gray means less opacity. Press Q key on keyboard or click on the quick mask mode button again to exit the mode. You can also start the selection using this mode. Go to select, deselect, or you can use the shortcut Ctrl D. You can always find the shortcuts for the most widely used commands in Photoshop. You should use that to save time. First of all, enter the quick mask mode by pressing Q. Right now we don't have any colored area, which means we don't have any excluded area in the image. Press D on the keyboard to select the black color as the default foreground color and white color as the default background color. Here we see that the area of the strawberry has less area than the remaining area. So selecting an excluded area will take more time than selecting the strawberry. If we select the strawberry means it would be excluded. But we can invert the selection by clicking the inverse option from the select menu. Photoshop will remember the last selection area, so once you deselect the area, you can reselect the last selection by pressing the shortcut of Shift plus Control plus T. You will find the same command under the select menu as well. Now let's talk about relative questions. So the first question is, can we use custom colors other than black and white for excluding or selecting the area during quick mask mode? No, the reason for using the black and white color is to know the Photoshop to remove or include the areas to the selection. Black means 100% opacity and white means 0% opacity. Using different colors will convert the colors to shades of grays, and that causes the opacity between 0 to 100. Another question is, what is the difference between the foreground gray color opacity and quick mask opacity? Foreground color opacity means the opacity of the selection area. Selecting a different color other than pure black or pure white color results in a gray color. Gray color opacity will mark the area with the opacity between 0 and 100, and that results in the transparent area selection depending upon the opacity of gray, where the quick mask mode opacity is just to visualize the color on the background image to identify the selected or excluded area.